You know, when you do a show like this after 5 years, you get to thinking you stop education topics like this, like what I do. But I think stopping education topics on a show like this would mean creating more distraction to the educational environment or the educational process. That's the whole reason, like for 5 years, this show has been about stopping the distraction to the educational process or the learning environment. That's what it's always been, and that's how it'll stay until this show goes downhill. But like with that in mind, we're gonna have to continue on by giving you the COVID wrap up, giving you the action of COVID. As of Friday, we are at 204 cases and a 7-day average of 92 in the state of Texas. 3.92 million, getting close to 4 million. 18,004, 61,000 deaths in the state of Texas, with over 1,100 deaths plus 3. Now for the vaccine. As of today, everyone has gotten 17 million doses of the first vaccine, and 14.4 have been fully vaccinated. 58.9 and 49.8, close to 50%. In Texas, in the state, 31.5 million have doses been given, 14.4 have been fully vaccinated, and 49.8. New York, 62% have been vaccinated. The highest is in New Jersey, Massachusetts. So we have highest is in New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, and Maryland. The highest numbers ever. We have to keep going with this. Every state should be fully vaccinated. And now, with all that in mind, let's get to our COVID-19 updates. Let's go immediately on to COVID-19 in the schools by looking at the spreadsheet. Looks like we're at 0. 0 for Thursday, 0 for Friday. That's good. No new cases to report. Right now, we're still at stage 2 in the migration process. And let me give you guys a recap on how it was. Prevention, migration, modified operations, faculty closure, and district closure. That's the standard response protocol. I mean, every school district should have a plan to make sure everyone is safe. That's how it would go down. Every school district on this planet should have a plan to make sure that everyone is safe and making sure that we all get the vaccine and stay safe. Every student should be able to get the vaccine at this point. So I think what really needs to happen here, we have to make sure that we follow these tips. And I've been giving you guys these tips for a lot of years. 1, making sure you wear a mask at all times. And the masks should be at the bridge of the nose. It shouldn't be down here nor down here. I understand it's difficult to talk, but after you talk, you put the mask back up. That's how it probably would be. Also, always social distancing. You need to make sure you're within 3 to 6 feet. If you're attending like after school functions like a football game, you need to make sure that you're within 6 feet as always so that everyone can be safe and socially distanced. I would not recommend for you guys in the bluff standing on the sidelines unless you're waiting on your food. I mean, this is what I've been told by a friend of mine. Because we're trying to be safe. We're now at stage 2. That doesn't mean that we'll go back to normal. Wash your hands every 20 seconds with warm water to kill the germs and to help stop the spread of germs, especially COVID. If you work at restaurants, they'll have you required to wash your hands like every hour, 20 seconds. If you have a medical condition, or your child's under 2, or if your child doesn't feel comfortable wearing a mask at a school when there is a mask mandate, you simply need, if that happens, what you simply need to do is talk with your school district and see what can happen. Because let's face it, what I talked about in yesterday's program was all about the school board protest about masks. And especially from school board members. So we have to make sure we know what we're doing. So we always have to know what we're doing. Alright, we're going to take a break right now. Alright, right now we're going to take a break. We'll have more give me a break when we coming up. Alright, next here we're going to be focusing next year we're going to move on to Flower Bluff, and it's next we're going to tell you about a video that was posted from Carolina High School. What the very latest about that. Also, there was some game cancellation for football. We'll tell you what happened. And why schools are funding utilizing COVID-19 vaccines. Still ahead. There is a video that was posted from Carolina ISD about a mouthpiece that happened. It was filled with urine. And they're investigating this, and the video was disturbing, and they did not release the video. Thank God they did not. Thank God. Thank goodness they did not post that video. But I'm going to read to you what it said. The video shows probably putting a mouthpiece in his mouth after the participant dipped in what looks like urine. They've been for the full investigation underway, and they will not condone any. It does not condone any actions described or portrayed any alleged incident. Any investigation is complete. Any action deemed necessary will be taken by administration. It's also a development story, and there's more information will come, and I will get to you. And more will be underway as we go on with the show. Now, if you live in a Corpus Christi ISD or in a Corpus Christi, you would know that all COVID-19 cases are trending downward. What's the reason? It's because of the vaccination. So the current vaccination rates, 12 and up is 56.83%, 65 and up is 79. That's good. We need to make sure that we're all getting that vaccine. And as we come on, if you look at my left arm, right on this very spot, you will see where I got the vaccine. 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because to show you that getting the vaccine is what matters. If your child's afraid of doing it, well, just tell them we have to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We all know that, and we all know that everyone's doing the right thing. For under 12 years old, after doing this story, after this story, there were plenty of people out there that would look at this and go, hey, I need to make sure that I'm getting my vaccine and not bailing out on it. And speaking of COVID-19, yesterday, Sitton ISD has put up signs to remember their COVID-19 victims. The community is honoring the lives lost of COVID-19 with an honorable memorial on the signs like you would see when your seniors graduate. I feel sorry for those who have passed away because of COVID, and for all the parents sitting in ISD, you need to make sure that you get your vaccine and learn your safety protocols and practice with them so that when your child starts school at the age of 5, they know about it. And here's what I'm going to do about this. I'm going to be a teaching tool for you. Because when I teach it to you, it's going to create crystallization in the brain. Practice social distancing by spreading out a ruler 6 feet. Think of something that is 6 feet. Besides what is going on here, I mean. So just figure something out. Also, masks are very important. Try to make sure you understand how it feels to wear a mask. If your child doesn't like it, then try to make them understand this is what happens. I mean, this is how they did it, how your mom and dad did before they got the vaccine, and it doesn't work that way. I mean, it will help. Plus, sanitization. Make sure that you teach your child how to do hand sanitizing. Make sure you go all the way around in your hands like this so that every bit of the sanitizer goes all over your hands. Like this. So that we all have to make sure, so that these tips are for everyone so that you can make sure that we can all be safe, stay sanitized, and try to understand that everybody is safe. Right? Alright, so what do you do if you let anyone fix your problems? If you rent a home or apartment and you have major problems, the landlord is supposed to fix it. So what can you do if your landlords won't fix your problems? Well, answer that question when we return. Even before the pandemic, all the homes were leaked and damaged, and with Hurricane Nicholas and with Tropical Storm Nicholas coming, winds were damaged, and probably in Houston where Nicholas probably collided with that power. So, I mean, if you went home in an apartment and you have a major problem, the landlord's supposed to fix it, right? Well, not exactly. What can you do? Well, send a landlord a letter. And that letter said, give him 30 days to fix it. And if he doesn't fix it, well, visit the courthouse for an escrow account. What else can you do? It's all about the renter's. It's all about the letters. It's all about the renter's rights. Send a landlord. So let's peek through these tips. Send the landlord a dated letter by certified mail. Return receipt requests or registered mail. Outline the needed repairs. You may also deliver the letter in person. Keep a copy of the letter. Be sure that your rent is current when the notice is received. Also, your landlord should make a diligent effort to repair the problem within a reasonable time or after receiving the notice. The law presumes 7 days to reasonable time. But the landlord can rebut this reception. If the landlord has not made an effort to complete the repair within 7 days and did not receive first notice letter delivered to your landlord via certified mail, return receipt requested or via registered mail. You'll need to send a second notice letter regarding the repairs. Finally, if the landlord has not made diligent efforts to repair the problem within a reasonable time after receipt of the notice letter sent by the certified mail, return receipt requested by registered mail. You may be entitled to terminate the lease, repair the problem, and deduct the cost from your rent, or get a court order that the repair is being made. Consult an attorney before taking any of these actions. Under the law in the state of Texas, it is illegal for a landlord to retaliate against you for complaining in good faith of unnecessary repairs for a period of 6 months from the date you made such a complaint. Of course, you can always be evicted if you fail to pay your rent on time, threatened by the safety of the landlord, or intentionally damage your property. You don't have the right to withhold rent because the landlord fails to make repairs. When the condition is needed repair does not materially affect your physical health or safety. If you try this man, the landlord may file suit against you. Which is all about the tenants agreement. Now, this is probably a 5 to 6 page thing, a good template. It's a 43 page, and I recommend that y'all get the handbook. 43 pages about moving you home and what can you do. And I'll have the link down in the description below for if you live in Texas. Let's face it, all these landlords don't know what they're doing. They're simply just saying, okay, you bought it, you bought the house, and we're not dealing with it. And you can also ask for the escrow account. You can do that. But it's all about trying to save your money. But there is caution about this. If you don't stop paying the rent, you could be evicted. That's how it would go. Like, I'm always looking out for you and your safety when it comes to this show. Listen, it's not just about education, it's just basically trying to understand So, here we're looking out for your money and for your safety. Now, yesterday, I've been talking about these school board fights that have been happening. We mainly been focusing on that Utah school board that they just simply adjourned the meeting and they said, okay, and people are like, so they're going to take over. I motion. It's because of a mask mandate. That's because of the mask mandate. And I said to people, hey, you have a right to protest whatever you want, but if your school decides to do that, the governor's orders that then that's up to your state governor. There's no point in just simply saying I'm not going to vaccinate my child and do this and that because there's no test. But the question really remains: are children affected by COVID-19 when wearing masks? Well, that's the question that we're going to ask tonight. Can wearing a mask make it harder for my child to breathe? The oxygen concerns of face masks can reduce oxygen intake and lead from low blood oxygen levels known as hypoxia. However, masks are made from breathable materials. The vast majority age 2 or older can safely wear masks. Under 2 cannot work. Can masks interfere with child's lung development? No, wearing a face mask will not affect your child's lungs when developing normally. It's because of the oxygen. Do masks trap out the dioxide that we normally breathe out? No. False reports. However, children under 2 age should not be wearing masks since they may not be able to move them without help. Can masks lead to weaker immune system by putting the body under stress? No, it won't weaken your immune system. How do masks prevent the spread of COVID-19? 80%. Masks should cover the mouth, fit snugly, be secure with ear loops or ties, have multiple layers of fabric, allow for restricted breathing, be washed, dried after use, and also you have to remember the important tool of preventing COVID-19, especially dangerous variants, circulating among the unvaccinated children. They are safe and effective for anyone over 2 years old. Don't hesitate to talk to your child's pediatrician if you have any questions about your face mask. And that senator at that board in Utah before all this crap has proof. And there was proof. And it's all and thanks to those mask mythbusters. But does it harm your health? No, it won't harm your health. Based on evidence, fewer children have been sick with COVID-19 compared to adults. Children can be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 and get sick. So, yeah, basically, that's what it is. Be back in a moment. The question, should drugs be illegal? What if we criminalize all drugs? We'll answer that question for you on Saturday as we deal with the question, should drugs be legal? That's on Saturday's Cut Me a Break. That's all of us give Cut Me a Break Friday going into Saturday. We'll see you again for Cut Me a Break Saturday night as we continue to start our 5th year. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you Saturday night. Good night.